All right, let's just jump into the Jimmy G decision to stay and your process getting to that. I know Kyle Shanahan spoke at length about it in a telephone press conference, but I'd love from your position, how did this come about for Jimmy G to stay with you as the backup and everyone understands roles, John Lynch?
Yeah, so it's obviously been a long journey way back to, kind of around the combine time when, I really thought that conversations with a number of teams probably honed in on 2 or 3 teams where I thought there was a real strong reality that it was happening, just the tenor of the conversations, the discussions of compensation. And then we got the call from Jimmy that, he had visited Neil Elitrash in L.A. and that they had made the decision where it had earlier been rest. It was, okay, we need to surgically fix this issue. And all of a sudden, then those said teams, that we're talking to, we have to communicate to them, hold on, we do need to let you know that Jimmy just is tomorrow having surgery on his throwing shoulder. And you can imagine being those teams, hey, we're going to step back.
Mm-hmm.
And so just to make a long story short, then the chairs start filling up, and when there's only so many chairs out there and throughout the off season, a lot of, teams aren't going to wait on that. And so that happened. Now we get to training camp. And I still think, that, hey, someone's going to come to us with something so strong. You've got a proven starting quarterback, a guy who's been to the Super Bowl, a couple of NFC championship games, that it's just a matter of time. And that really just never happened. A few teams called, but I think everyone, the injury to the shoulder and the fact that a lot of those seats had filled up, I can't speak for other teams as to why they didn't. Now, at some point, we're watching our team and we feeling really good about our team. And there was just a conversation between Kyle and I, hey, what would you think about, Jimmy coming up here in a backup capacity? This is Trey's team. And I think Kyle's initial reaction was, why would he do that? I'm sure there's going to be a starting, job for him out there, or something's going to arise. And, I don't know exactly when that was, but, we did a couple of things there. We communicated to Jimmy, that we would have interest in that if he did. We also pulled Trey in and talked to him and said, we want you to know we had this conversation. It has nothing to do with you. This is your team. This has more to do with our belief in the team. And if we can strengthen that room and have him as your backup, then, man, that we believe that makes us a better team. Have no idea whether it's going to happen. It's likely won't. And as things kind of developed, and, I guess some people might say, well, why didn't you just do it then a month ago or something? Well, Jimmy and Don Yee and Carter Chow as representatives, I think smartly said, we're going to wait for every possibility, whether that's a starting quarterback getting hurt, whatever it is. Sometimes time is your friend on these things. And so we're going to wait till the very end of camp, till the last preseason games played before we're ready to do something like that. But we do have interest. And so, when it happened very quickly. I'm sorry for a long story, but I don't know any other way to tell it.
No, I'm hanging on to your every word.